All right, this is our next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions, continuing our retro pay-per-view review series. It's going to be WWF King of the Ring in 1999. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, and let's get into this. You can make an argument for this pay-per-view that this was one of the worst, if not the worst, King of the Ring pay-per-view ever.
It's up there. It's up there with the worst.
I mean, I don't know about you, but to me, they focused on the tournament on this more about the DX imploding
hmm
than they did about the actual tournament
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
And
Tournament
there
was
was
an
all,
afterthought. The King of the Ring was an afterthought.
yeah, not to mention way too many interviews. It was like match, interview, match, interview. I mean, there was no consistency. There was no, focusing on the ring. A lot of the matches were very short. The main event was okay, considering that it's the Austin McMahon feud, but we're now over a year into this, and now it's about ownership of the company, which you already knew. Even back then we knew. Okay, we know Austin's not winning that match, but I mean, this was a lackluster one to say the least. Let's go ahead and go over the qualifying matches for the King of the Ring. X-Pac defeated the Big Boss Man to get in. Badass Billy Gunn, Mr. S defeated Viscera, so you can see where the DX focus is
Mhm.
coming from here. Ken Shamrock defeated your boy Jeff Jarrett.
Thank God.
Yeah, no Jarrett in this one.
Thank God.
Hardcore Holly defeats Al Snow. Road Dogg defeats The Godfather. Big Show beats Droz. Kane defeated Test, and China beat Val Venus. So everybody, with the exception of Triple H and DX, is in this tournament.
Yeah, we actually get the full tournament this time. They brought the full tournament back to the pay-per-view,
Yeah, that's not saying much considering the
which,
last time they had the full tournament, it was a stink fest as well.
yeah,
That
so
was
it's
the
a shame. They
99. That was the
finally,
95 one.
yeah, they finally bring it back, and it's, so.
So June 27th, 1999. Also, it was in Greensboro, North Carolina, McMahon Country and Flair Country.
Yeah.
Uh,
Kurt Angle's
20.
on. Kurt Angle fights in this too on a dark match
Yeah, he lost to Meat.
to me. Yeah.
There was another match also that wound up being put on the actual card itself. I'll get to that in a little bit. There was actually like four matches on Sunday Night Heat, and the last one was, which I'll get to here because it plays a significant role in the pay per view. Ken Shamrock beats Shane McMahon by disqualification. 20,000 on hand to see this one, and I'm sorry, you guys. JR and Lawler, of course, doing the commentary. Now, before the pay per view on Sunday Night Heat, Steve Blackman had attacked Ken Shamrock with a kendo stick, leaving him in a possibility, doubtful for the tournament. Um,
Defending champion Ken Shamrock,
yep.
defending King of the Ring champion.
And you had a veteran in the tournament on this in X-Pac.
The Susan Lucci of the King of the Ring is X-Pac.
Yeah, seriously, because what he used in the '94 King of the Ring, he used here too with his neck.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
I call him Susan Lucci because he doesn't win. He's there, he's in the tournament, but he doesn't win. So
Poor guy. Well, it's not exactly like the King of the Ring means anything anymore because it's not like you're getting a title shot. You're really not getting anything. I mean, Billy Gunn wins this.
yeah,
Why I don't know.
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. It doesn't matter. Anyway, after following showing the events of Sunday Night Heat, Michael Cole had announced that Shane also may not be able to participate in the main event. Here we go. More McMahon shenanigans. But in any event, let's get on to the opening match. Was the quarterfinal match. It was X-Pac versus Hardcore Holly. Hardcore Holly with a chip on his shoulder because he's got a list of people that he's targeting, and we'll see him multiple times tonight. This is where I talked about where the matches were short. This was a 3-minute match, and Holly gets disqualified hitting X-Pac with the chair, and after X-Pac, did the Bronco Buster on Hardcore Holly, and after the match, Road Dogg came to assist X-Pac. Now, for those that don't know, DX has imploded right down the middle. It's pretty much, half and half. Road Dogg and X-Pac are together.
Right.
China, Triple H, Billy Gunn are on the other side of this whole thing. And Triple H honestly doesn't care right now because all of a sudden he went to sleep, woke up one day and goes, I want to be the champ. And he put on like 50 pounds of muscle. It's like overnight, all of a sudden, it's like, I'm not DX. I want to be the champion. So now we got X-Pac moving on to the next round.
The highlight of this is when Hardcore Holly didn't know who the hell Terry Taylor was backstage.
Yeah, in his interview coming on, I love that. He's like, who are you again?
Right, yeah.
He's, I'm Terry Taylor. Yeah,
the Red Rooster. I didn't even remember. I completely forgot he came back.
Cup of coffee.
Yeah.
They never did anything with him anyway, so what does it matter? But Terry Taylor interviews Hardcore Holly, and he mentions that he goes, I haven't forgotten Big Show, and this is where they're trying to show Hardcore Holly being a badass, which is not working. So our next match on the card was actually on paper it looks pretty good. It did for years, but for this particular match, it didn't. It was Big Show versus Kane, and this was a stinker.
It started off good. I thought it started off as a good big man match, and then it just deteriorated once they went to the chokehold thing.
Yeah,
it kind of deteriorated.
And of course, Ross is referring to Big Show as comparing him to Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
During the match, they both did a big boot to each other, which didn't come off.
They botched it. Yeah,
bad. That's why I said it started off good, but then
just went downhill.
Seriously, and Big Show accidentally hits the ref with the boot. What a surprise here. Kane low blows Big Show. Now here's where Hardcore Holly comes down with the chair.
I think he was late too. I think Hardcore Holly was late, so they had to delay the.
Yeah.
What? Because what is that? Kane grabs Big Show right by the throat, or is it the other way around? I should know. I just watched this. But
Kane had the chokehold on Big Show.
Right, and he stayed there for a while. I don't know if
his fans were booing at that point too.
Yeah. I don't know if it's edited on the network or not, because it might have been longer than it was. Maybe I don't remember the original. I just felt like it dragged on. Maybe I'm also remembering the first time I saw it. I don't know. Either way, that
first time I saw it, I was really disappointed.
Yeah, and the people are booing. They're booing. That sucked the life out of the arena.
Exactly. Holly comes down with Kane choke slams Hardcore Holly. He hits Kane like we said had the chokehold on him. He used the chair on Big Show of all things that Holly came down with. Gets the pin, so now Kane's moving on. So this match was no bueno. Sorry, I have to say that it was. It could have been better. There've been better matches between the two. Moving on, but so in any event, following this match, Michael Cole interviewed Vince about Shane's injury, saying that he didn't know whether or not he's going to be in there. We've seen this before, countless times. So. This is right after the whole higher power thing, right? This is after the. It was me, Austin. It was me all along, which was actually a good video package for the main event. Between Austin and then they also showed a little bit with the Undertaker match.
They know
that was a good storyline
until the end.
Yes,
then it was garbage.
So we knew it was Vince.
Apparently, they didn't know where they were going with it. They just kind of they wrote themselves into kind of a hole, a wall, and they didn't know where to go with it. They're like, just make Vince, because those rumors Jake was going to be the higher power. There was another rumor with somebody else, and
Christopher Daniels, I believe, was one of them.
It was Christopher Daniels, and they just decided on Vince, and it was.
I think if they would have put somebody else in, it would have been a little better.
Yeah,
other than Vince.
Vince was stupid. No stupid, but
it was. But at this point, they you could have had two hamsters wrestling in the ring, and it didn't matter because WCW is doing so bad that WWE. Even though this pay-per-view was bad, it's still killing them.
Yeah.
So our next match is Mr. Ass Billy Gunn versus Ken Shamrock, an injured Ken Shamrock at this point. This match actually got stopped by the referee after Shamrock went for the Hurricanrana and Billy Gunn reversed it.
Remember, Shamrock they didn't know if he was going to fight, and he's fighting backstage. He's like, no, I'm going out there, and he just comes out there. fights and then
Garbage storyline.
garbage.
It was. And so, Billy Gunn moves on. Now, what's funny is Billy Gunn's coming down to the ring with one half of the tag team titles because he thinks he won them because when he teamed with the Acolytes against, I think it was Road Dogg and X-Pac, and he gets the pin. He thinks he's the tag team champion, so he takes the belt. So the Acolytes are going to be looking for him because I believe the next night on Raw, Farouk has a one-on-one match with Billy Gunn. So following this match now, Kevin Kelly interviewed Chyna about possibly being the queen of the ring. And then, of course, Triple H has to put his 10 cents worth of knowledge in there. All of a sudden now he's talking about he wants to be the WWE champion. Like, bro, this ain't about you. It's about your girl.
Why she was even in that tournament?
I don't know. The match. We'll get to the match in a minute. The match picked up. The fans actually enjoyed it more when she started getting her ass kicked.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was a stink fest in the beginning of it. This was the part of Triple H I couldn't stand because it was like once he got into corporate ministry, and it was like overnight. It's like all of a sudden, every interview, I'm going to be the WWE champion. I want to be WWE. I mean, it was just it was being thrown down your face and down your throat. I'm like, all right, we get it. You want to be champion.
Well, he was just, letting everybody know what was to come.
Yep. And it came all right. In any event, the next match on the card was Road Dogg, in fact, against Chyna.
Yeah. This was like a 15-minute match or something. Well, maybe a little less than that, but
about 13. This was the longest of the
longest.
Of the Ring.
Yeah, right. Which makes no sense.
No, you think the Kane Big Show match would have been a little longer considering
or
the
even
size
the final.
of the two.
Or the final.
Oh, the final was 5.5 minutes.
Yeah.
It made no sense. It's like at that point Vince was like, all right, let's just hurry up and get this over with.
Yeah. I used to always laugh, but I did used to laugh when Chyna used to low blow people. That used to always make me laugh. I didn't mind Chyna. I just didn't. There's certain things they did with her I didn't like, but
Well, her getting in the ring with the male athletes was actually pretty impressive. She did a good job in there. Especially when Jericho came in and she had the feud with him. When she fought the Radicals, I mean, she held her own against them. But during this match, Road Dogg it felt like, and even JR said it, he just didn't look like he wanted to put a hand on her. Mm-hmm. And he was getting
part of the story.
Yeah. Now, early in the night, Chyna and Triple H had attacked Road Dogg repeatedly, and repeatedly during this match. Now it doesn't change because now Triple H is constantly getting involved in the match as he's at ringside. No manager's license. Referee's not saying anything. However, that would change a little later on in the match. As we're watching Chyna's dominance over Road Dogg, he puts the sleeper hold on her, finally doing some type of offense. Triple H puts her leg on the rope. Now with the ref down, Helmsley hits Road Dogg with the chain, but Chyna couldn't get the pin on him. By this point, the commissioner had enough, and here comes Shawn Michaels. Mm-hmm. And then he got the loudest pop of the night during this card. That ain't saying much. Michaels comes down. Helmsley tried to interfere. Shawn tells him he's got to go to the back.
He grabs him. He grabs him off the apron.
This is at the time that I thought that it's possible that Michaels may be getting back in the ring because it looked like they were doing a storyline to where he would come back and face Helmsley.
Or The Rock later on.
I was hoping, that's one match I was hoping we would get back then. We never did. Even when Shawn came back and Rock was still on the roster, never got it, unfortunately. So, once Shawn stopped him and ordered Helmsley to the back, Chyna low-blowed Road Dogg, but her arm was hurting because he has an iron and a steel cup on, and he hits his pump handle slam and gets the pin. So Road Dogg gets the victory over Chyna. Chyna is gone. Following this match, Michael Cole had interviewed The Rock. This is where I said there was like match, interview. It was just prolonging the night, unfortunately. And he's interviewing The Rock about the upcoming title match that he has against The Undertaker. Now, our next match, now that the first round of the quarterfinals is done with the King of the Ring, this was the match that was on Sunday Night Heat that Michaels had ordered to be redone because the Acolytes had interfered. This is a #1 contenders match for the tag team titles. It was the Hardy Boys versus the Brood, Edge and Christian. The start of what would be a phenomenal feud. With Michael Hayes with the baggy pants. It just didn't look right. Now he's Michael Hayes after all these
Michael
years.
Hayes again, yeah. Not Doc Hendricks anymore.
Oh, my God. With his little walking, his little pin cane. I love it. And, I mean, and this match was actually pretty short.
It was.
Considering. And the highlight to me of this match is when they went for their we call it now their patented corner move, Jeff Hardy jumping off his brother. Edge speared him, and that was classic. I loved it. And the fans got into it at that point. Typical how this match ends. Gangrel, was going to spit blood into Jeff Hardy's face. He misses and hits Edge. Jeff hits the twist of fate and pins Edge, and the Hardy Boys are the #1 contenders for the tag titles. So, I mean, for just about under 5-minute match, but it was pretty good considering what would come with these two tag teams. Following this match, you guessed it, another interview. Michael Cole interviewed The Undertaker at this point about his upcoming match with The Rock. Now, following that was the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament, which started off with Kane versus Mr. Ass Billy Gunn. Well, actually, let me back that up a little bit. Vince had actually come out prior to this. We got another one of those Vinnie Mac surprises in the ring. He was announcing that the main event would not happen. And then here we go. Shawn Michaels comes out again. And Vince said he would wrestle with a suitable replacement. Okay. Well, we did find out who the suitable replacement would be later on. Unfortunately, Shawn Michaels wasn't having it.
This was ruining the flow of the pay-per-view.
It really
just the momentum, just the
there wasn't a flow to me.
No, I'm saying the constant interviews and
coming. It's almost like they were trying to waste time.
That's what it was. That's what it felt like.
For some reason.
That's what it felt like they were trying to kill time. Yeah.
Why are you killing time for?
I don't know.
You got a packed card. Run with it. Just let the matches continue and let's go.
I don't know.
The constant. I mean, I felt like this was a Saturday main event with all the interviews.
That's what it felt like. Yeah. A very long Saturday night's main event.
A 2-hour, 50-minute Saturday night main event. So after Vince leaves the ring trying to find his suitable replacement, we would get Billy Gunn versus Kane. Of course, now, and also what killed this card was the constant interference.
Too much.
It felt like just every match.
Every match that was outside interference.
And this one was the same because here comes Big Show. Big Show came down as Billy Gunn got a chair. He takes it out of his hand. Show as he grabbed it, he hits Kane with the chair. Billy Gunn's like, okay, gets the 1-2-3 on Kane. And this is a 5.5-minute match where you would think that Kane would dominate this match.
Right.
And it was not the case. And Billy Gunn's now moving on to the finals, where you wouldn't have thought Billy Gunn would be in the finals. But again, this is what I said in the beginning. This King of the Ring was built around the implosion of DX. And I don't think they should have built a tournament like that.
Yeah, I'll get into Billy Gunn later on. Yeah. So.
Okay. So following this, was there another match? Nope, you guessed it. Another interview. Kevin Kelly interviewing X-Pac and then Road Dogg because the next match would be the two friends facing each other. And this was actually a pretty good match.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad.
This one was good. Of course, X-Pac is selling the neck injury once again. Yeah. Every King of the Ring he's in, he's always selling that neck injury. Yeah.
It's always hurt.
And, X-Pac, he countered the pump handle slam and hit the X Factor on Road Dogg. So now X-Pac is in the finals against Billy Gunn, which I would have, if you're going to do the DX implosion, I would have rather them been Road Dogg versus Billy Gunn.
Right, the partners, yeah.
Jesse James versus Rockabilly. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
Right. I'm assuming because X-Pac's a better wrestler than Road Dogg that you wanted to have X-Pac versus Billy Gunn. That's my only assumption. There's even a rumor.
I can see that.
I read they were thinking about X-Pac winning this. I read that somewhere.
Doesn't matter. It's not like you're getting anything for it.
I mean, they were trying to do something with Billy Gunn, but yeah. So.
I mean, I really don't understand. You took this away years ago because of how it was a stink fest at SummerSlam, but then get rid of then just get rid of the pay-per-view. Because to me, I'm sorry, if you're winning the King of the Ring tournament, you should be going on to SummerSlam as the #1 contender for the title. And at this point now, okay, Billy Gunn's the king of the ring. Great. What are you doing with him?
He's going to
You're going to
wrestle
put
The
him
Rock.
back in DX.
He's going to wrestle The Rock.
In a Kiss My Ass match, which was
and
garbage.
The Rock buried him.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to talk about later.
Oh, okay. Well, we brought it up. That don't matter.
I'll mention it again later on.
So, following that match, they showed the video package what led up to the title match with The Undertaker defending the title against The Rock. How Rock had to beat Undertaker and Triple H in a match, and that's hard enough to do as it is. And, of course, with Triple H and Undertaker imploding with themselves, Rock was able to get the victory in the #1 contendership.
This was a great build. Like, I remember The Rock, with Rock talking about the Mickey Mouse tattoos and all that stuff leading into this. But you put the WWF title match, again, not in the main event.
Oh, this is the third from the main event.
Right.
You still have 2 more matches after this.
And then the King of the Ring match, the championship match for the King of the Ring is not the main event either.
Nope.
I know it's Austin, but
I don't think the Austin match warranted being the main event.
Not that. Not under those circumstances. Not under those circumstances.
I think this match should have been the main event.
Yeah, it should have been the main event. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be.
No, and if you're King of the, like I've said, if your King of the Ring tournament's not relevant anymore,
but
you could have made that the main event.
Yeah, but this match was disappointing to me too because there was too much nonsense going on in that match. The ref gets knocked out right in the beginning. The Rock has the match.
2 seconds in, yes.
2 seconds in, the boom, rock bottom, 1, 2, 3.
You think it's going to be over? Then here comes another referee.
Right, yeah.
And I think The Rock knocks him out. I'm like,
The Rock had him beat like 3 times.
Yeah.
So like, what are you doing?
I'm thinking, what are we doing this in reverse?
Right. What are you doing for the Undertaker? I don't understand. And I love The Rock. Rock was my favorite wrestler at the time. But I'm like, what's going on here? So I thought this was a lost opportunity to have a really good match. I don't know.
Yeah. They could have definitely done a rematch and fixed this at the next pay-per-view or even SummerSlam, but they chose to go other ways. I mean, these guys, they fought all over the arena.
Yeah.
I mean, even this wasn't even a no disqualification match. This is just the referee going, "The hell with it, let him fight."
Whatever. Yeah, it's a moment, just whatever.
I don't want to get knocked down again. And this was the longest match on the card. This was just shy of 20 minutes, and it wasn't bad, but like you said, it wasn't good.
Yeah,
it was just too much chaos.
Yeah, too much chaos.
Rather than focusing in the ring, these 2 guys putting it all on the line. Yeah. Tombstone versus Rock Bottom, and of course Triple H comes down.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Too much stuff going on, like.
Because now they're wondering, okay, is he coming down to take out The Undertaker, or is he coming out to take out The Rock? Because he has announced that he has challenged the winner.
Right.
So he goes ahead and pedigrees The Rock, and then Taker tombstones The Rock, and Taker successfully wins the title, defends the title against The Rock. When I would have rather this been a straight, knowing outside interference. You don't need to make The Rock still look strong to build a storyline. He's already there.
Yeah.
So if he loses fair and square against Taker, so be it.
Right. If you barely lost the match, that's fine. Like
this is The Undertaker. It's not. I'll use his words. It's not some jabroni that he's fighting. They missed a golden opportunity with this match, unfortunately. And so following this, in the back, Shawn threw Helmsley out of the building at this point. And of course, Vince is like, "That's my partner," and I love what I think he said something like "No shit, Sherlock" or something to that effect. Yeah. Which if Shane's out of this match and you got Helmsley and Vince versus Austin, that kind of makes it a little better than Austin beating the crap out of the 2 of them for the whole match and losing.
Yeah.
But this was out of the whole rivalry between the 2. Between Vince and Austin, this was, I think, the worst match.
Yeah, I didn't want to see this at a pay-per-view again. Like, I don't want to see like
we're going on what? Because this is June, so 16 months. 14 months of this at this point.
Because Vince is not a wrestler. Like, I liked him as a heel, but I liked the fact that he was a heel. But then he would have
corporate heel.
He would have his chosen wrestler, like to mess
exactly.
Whether it was Undertaker or the Big Show or somebody, like he had his guy. Like,
not him in the ring.
But not him in the again.
And Shane too.
Yeah.
Because Austin's going to beat the crap out of him. But you also know, and let's cover the King of the Ring finals before we get into this. Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's Billy Gunn versus X-Pac. Michael Cole interviewed Billy Gunn before the match. He said he was gunning for the neck. Of course he did. 5.5 minute match. He hit the famouser from the second turnbuckle and gets the pin on X-Pac. Okay, congratulations.
And nobody
King
cared.
Billy Gunn.
King Billy Gunn, nobody cared. There was no celebration either. Like, there was no coronation.
No coronation, no scepter, no robe, no nothing. It was, okay, you won, get out of here.
Okay, you won, get out of here. Yeah, exactly. Like, what was the point of that? Like, and I know that Vince was trying to push him, but the way they did this, this
wasn't a push. This was a push out the door almost.
Right. And then not only that, like, I don't want to dump on Billy Gunn, but like he just never really connected with, outside of the New Age Outlaws, he just never really connected with the fans. He had a great look. He could work, but he was missing something. I don't know what it was.
I thought when he was the one Billy Gunn.
Oh God, stop.
That he sort of had the look. No, I'm not saying WWE.
He had the look. He had the look.
He had the look to be a mid card champion.
But he did not, for whatever reason, and Vince was obsessed with this guy because this guy got multiple pushes. So they put him after this.
Too.
Yeah. So then they put him in a program with The Rock. The Rock was livid about this because he's like, how do I go from fighting The Undertaker for the title to now I'm fighting Billy Gunn? And then The Rock just shit all over him. Once The Rock did, I've said this before, once The Rock did that promo, but my name, when he's talking to God, remember he's pretending, but my name is Billy.
Billy.
He's like, it doesn't matter what that was the end. That was the end. That was the end of Billy Gunn. That was the end.
Unfortunately, you're right.
Yeah.
And then when they reunited DX, he winds up getting hurt. So by the time he comes back, the DX thing is over, and they got him in a tag team? No, they got him teaming with Survivor Series when he returned with R-Truth and Road Dogg. They didn't even know what to do with him. So he's the one Billy Gunn. Then they changed that, and he goes into back into a tag team with Chuck Palumbo. Yeah. It was like, I like to call it Suck and Chuck.
They had a good theme song though.
Yeah, they did.
Vince, like, it was funny.
Vince, Billy Gunn was a born tag team wrestler.
Some guys are like that.
Yes, but any tag team you put him in, he made it work.
Yeah, but as a solo guy, he couldn't cut the mustard to take a quote from Hogan. Couldn't cut the mustard. So,
because I believe his last run before he left in 2005 was back to being a singles wrestler.
He used to keep getting hurt. I don't know if you remember that. He was always injured.
Yeah. Yeah. But for most of 2000, he was out.
Yeah. So
and DX, they said the DX thing really didn't work unless they were all there. But to me, honestly, the second coming of DX did not work.
No.
It was garbage.
Right.
So, yeah, Billy Gunn, no coronation. You're done. Go fight Farouk the next night. You want to take the title back.
See you.
So the next thing, they showed a video package leading up to the main event, which was great. The whole corporate ministry thing with Stephanie.
No, that was all great stuff, man.
Austin changing the budget to the beer budget. Yeah. It was great, though. Mm-hmm. Now, as a fan back then, Austin is not winning this match.
Yeah, he's going to lose.
WWE.
He's going to lose, yeah.
So Vince comes out and announces Steve Blackman is his partner. Now we got that GTV, which never amounted to anything, by the way.
It was Goldust, right?
Supposedly. They dropped, all of a sudden, overnight, they just dropped it. Vince was like, I'm just not feeling it. But they show Shane is in the back with the Mean Street Posse. So now here comes Sean bringing in Shane McMahon, telling Blackman, get the hell out of here. Blackman gave him a stare down, and I'm like,
because the GTV showed that he was faking the injury.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened.
Yeah. So now Shane has got to be part of the match. So here comes Austin.
Blackman's out.
And Austin, for the whole 17 minutes, beat the holy hell out of these guys. Yeah. He brought down the display. I love how one by one through each ladder, and then finally that display just comes down on him. Now, I remember hearing, I think it was a friend of mine who had told me this, because they never showed you, when Austin went for the briefcase as it's being raised, they never showed you who did it. A friend of mine tried to, and I wasn't buying into it, even though he was on his way into the company, that it was Chris Jericho supposedly behind it. I said, dude, no, you're wrong. My guess was Blackman.
It was the boss man.
Well, okay, because they never showed it.
They never went anywhere with it though. Because it was either going to be the Boss Man or they were going to do something with Linda. But from what I understand, it was actually supposed to be the final thought or plan was the Boss Man, but they never got. The Boss Man had just gotten kicked out of the corporation thing before this.
Yeah,
and
because
then he comes back
on Sunday Night Heat, he fought the corporate ministry,
and then he comes back, and then I think they bring him back to the corporation, right? They bring him back
for briefly
like
before he got disbanded.
Yeah,
and then his last thing was Bull Buchanan.
They decided never to go. Austin had the match won, and they keep bringing it up, and then he ends up fighting again, and then Shane eventually gets up
they
there.
they lowered it for Shane to grab it, so Shane grabs the.
Shane sacrifices Vince because Vince and Austin were on the ladder, and he just pushes it over with Vince.
Yeah, I love that
with Vince and Austin, and then Shane just.
That was a good spot, and then of course I love. Okay, apparently there's only one ladder we can use. Okay, Shane, get on my back.
Yeah,
I'm like,
or they were trying to get up. It was funny. It was a funny spot. But I just thought that the main event was, it was lackluster, man. It's just this pay-per-view was the shits.
It was, but the one good thing that Austin did sign for himself before he lost office was he was the #1 contender for the WWE title the next night.
Yeah,
I do remember that because he said, "Oh, by the way, yeah, I signed this," and I believe he won it that night too.
I can't remember. Got back the title. I think he probably did. I just can't remember.
Taker had a short run because by SummerSlam, his hip was killing him, and he had to get the surgery.
Yeah, he's only going to be around a couple more months before he leaves, and then comes back as American Badass.
Oh, I love that.
But well, he was basically the one-man DOA. You know, he was like, right? Like he was basically the one-man DOA.
Well, he's better than all four of them put together at this point.
That's true. That's true. But I just thought that so there's an argument. Some people say that Mabel was the worst King of the Ring, and some people say Billy Gunn was the worst King of the Ring. But I'm gonna say something. I think it was actually Billy Gunn. I'll tell you why. You might not agree with me with this.
I'm agreeing with you.
At least Mabel got heat. He was able to generate a lot of heat. The whole thing with the Undertaker, he broke his face, and then he fought Diesel.
And he got a title shot. There you go.
And he got a title shot, right? And he was actually like a monster heel. Billy Gunn just gets his ass whipped by The Rock and gets buried.
Yeah.
So I will say that it's actually Billy Gunn, and this is.
I believe 1999 was the worst.
Yeah.
King of the Ring. I'm sorry,
and it's amazing because WWF was on fire in '99.
They're drawing 6.0, 7.0 ratings on Raw. They're killing it.
Yeah, and then
you have a pay-per-view like this.
It's almost like they almost ran out of ideas for like a month. And they were like,
yeah, well, they had a brain fart.
Let's just make a card.
Yeah.
Let's just put a bunch of matches on here, make a card, and then Russo's gone in a couple months. Like these are like the last days of Russo. Well, I think Russo leaves in September, October, so he's there for.
I could tell this looks like Russo's WCW work.
So. Anyway,
at least the next one had the biggest. You had the biggest tournament bracket of any King of the Ring in 2000. They had a 32-man that they broke down. They didn't do the whole thing on the card, but the next King of the Ring had the biggest bracket to go for it, and it was a lot better than this one.
Yeah.
But this. Okay, yeah, Kurt Angle, come on. Oh, and don't forget. Oh yeah, we mentioned him earlier. Never mind. Yeah, I know. Thumbs down to this one. I got it. I'm not arguing the case with you. I agree.
Yeah. So
it was bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys let us know what you think. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.